You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible.
Okay, so Bob Johnson was on CNBC. He was on CNBC. And he said that black people should be forming a independent party. Okay, so what I was going to ask Bob is, it's June of 2020. Why is Bob saying this right now? I don't understand why Bob is saying in June 2020 why black people should be forming an independent party. But when I thought about it, I went back to December 2nd when I interviewed Bob on TV One, December 2nd, 2016, after Donald Trump won. This is what Bob Johnson said then.
The meeting I'm talking about, I mean, it's real. That needs to happen.
That meeting, I will go to that meeting if somebody calls the meeting together.
What if you call it?
I would call the meeting if the meeting flies under the banner of what Bill Clinton said.
No, that's fine. Here's the deal.
You and I will call it.
Okay.
You and I will call it.
Okay, let's call a meeting, and we'll figure out, we can have it at, like I say, like when they meet, it's on a weekend. Look, X number of people come here for that particular weekend, which lays the path, because we have to fund our own grassroots. We can't wait every election for the candidate or the party. Can you please fund it? We have to drive our vote.
But we first have to have a philosophy and an ideology behind the fundraising. I don't want to raise, I raise money a lot of times,
yes,
but I have an ideology. I want to make more money. So I understand how to raise money. That's not the issue. For here, I want to have an ideology behind why are we raising this money. When I call a donor and say, hey, come to this meeting and we're asking everybody to put up, whatever you can based on whatever you can give, to raise well, you call it a PAC, for instance. But what is the philosophy of this PAC? If they say this PAC is no permanent enemies, no permanent friends, just permanent interest, I'm with that.
All right, so here's what we'll do. So you and I will call that. We'll talk. We'll figure out date, meeting place, and we'll do that.
Okay, I'm with it, because I believe this is essential to African Americans' future in this divided nation.
No, I agree.
So, okay. So here's the issue that I have. And again, I wish Bob was on. I would tell him, and we're going to try to book Bob on the show tomorrow. I called Bob's people to actually set that up. It never happened. So I don't understand. You say that 4 years ago and nothing happens in 4 years, and now all of a sudden you're saying it. I just got an alert where Bob also, I guess, gave an interview with Fox News that says BET founder mocks crowds tearing down statues, calls them borderline anarchists in the Fox News interview. So I don't, again, let me be real clear. This is the thing that I think I think it's real easy to say that, oh, we need to have this. Who funds it? Who organizes it? Y'all just saw. I say it. Let's call a meeting. I reached out to his people about that, never heard back. So, I'm just saying. To me, you make this comment now in June. I've already had some other people who are like, I don't understand. I don't understand the call. I really don't. I don't understand the call. I don't understand the timing. I don't, and I'm just trying to understand it. I have folks on YouTube who are saying, Bob is a big Trump supporter. He's talked about the Trump economy and how it's been good for African Americans, stuff along those lines. But that's the piece there. I mean, because let me just help folks out, because I get this. People say this a lot. We need our own party. First of all, if you look back, the last successful third party was the Reform Party. That was funded by Ross Perot. When Ross Perot ran in 1992, the Reform Party was born out of that. And it was disaffected Republicans and disaffected Democrats who formed the Reform Party. There were people who felt that Ross Perot had too much control over the Reform Party. Jesse Ventura became governor of Minnesota as a Reform Party candidate. Now, people don't understand. There are other parties out there. In fact, the Libertarian Party. Let me just do this here. And in fact, if you study people, in New York State, there are multiple political parties in New York State that actually have a line on the ballot. See, when we go in and vote, it lists all people who are running for president. There's this belief that it's only 2 or 3 people. No, there are tons of people who run for president who actually qualify for the ballot. In fact, let me see. How many this is just Google. How many parties are on the ballot in 50 states? Okay. This was what Ballotpedia says. List of political parties in the United States. So they actually have this list on there. Now, here's the deal. This is as of September 2019. Go to my iPad. So it says 3 minor parties were recognized in more than 10 states as of September 2019. Libertarian Party, 37 states. The Green Party, 26 states. The Constitution Party, 14 states. Although there are dozens of political parties in the United States, only certain parties qualify to have the names of their candidates for office printed on election ballots. In order to qualify for ballot placement, a party must meet certain requirements that vary from state to state. For example, in some states, a party must organize around a candidate for a specific office. That candidate must in turn win a percentage of the vote in order for the party to be granted ballot status. In still other states, an aspiring political party must register a certain number of voters. Okay, so let me unpack that, okay, for the people out there what that means. See, so it's real easy to say, we need our own party. But there's no guarantee you're going to be in all 50 states. So really, I think when you listen to what Bob Johnson said, is that do you need an entity that is advancing black interests? Well, we have various groups. Poor People's Campaign doing that. NAACP, National Urban League, other civil rights groups, those things are all there. I just think that when we start saying stuff like we need our own party, we might want to know exactly what the hell that means. Because it's not as simple as people think. Now, what I argued when Bob was with me in 2016 is that I believe we as African Americans need to have a significant funding apparatus whose sole job is to drive black voter turnout when it comes to elections. Now, Diddy, when he made his announcement, he's working on this entity that we're going to hold our votes hostage. Y'all saw my video on this show where I described that there has to be an entity that exists 365 days a year that serves not just demanding something of a candidate, but then following up to that particular initiative. So if that's what Bob's talking about, okay. But are you going to fund it? Are you going to contribute $5 to $10 million to that entity? Are other African Americans going to do it? Now, there's a thing called the Black Economic Alliance, a group of well-to-do African Americans who wanted to use their dollars to influence public policy. They actually exist. They've had forums. They had a forum that actually aired on BET in June. They've run commercials. They exist. That's an entity. So I want us to understand that there are entities out there who are already doing what Bob is talking about. But when you start saying we need our own political party, y'all, that sounds really great. It's a great statement, but that sucker ain't easy. It ain't easy at all. And I just want us to understand the reality behind it. So we're gonna reschedule. Bob. And so bottom line is this here. We'll get him on. He can't come on tomorrow, but we'll reschedule him, and then we'll make it happen.
All right, folks, back to that Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
Ceek.com. Mary Spiel, her sister, she is actually the inventor, creator of these great headphones. Also, she has a virtual reality headset. You can actually get these folks with a promo code in partnership with us at Roland Martin Unfiltered. All you got to simply do is use this code RMVIP2020 when you go to Ceek.com. That's Ceek.com, CEEK.com. And so these are 360-degree 4D headphones. You can use them for gaming. You can listen to music. You could also, of course, use them for any number of purposes. Absolutely fabulous. You also see there the virtual reality headset they have as well, and so you could use that promo code for either one of these two devices. And we certainly appreciate them being a partner. Ceek.com. The promo code is RMVIP2020.